Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pastel Poleaxe. I am your host, Chloe Juniper, and with me, as always, on our series of Fables and Legends is my co-host, Brandon Greer of Codename Blank. How are you today, Brandon?
I am doing awesome today, feeling very Star Warsy. I bought a
Yeah.
Baby Yoda
Oh,
shirt.
yes, I wanted to see it. It looks. Oh,
Yes,
is it like a Van
it's
Gogh?
it's kind of like a Van Gogh or
That's
Van Gogh. I'm
precious.
not sure how it's pronounced,
I
but
believe it's Van
but
Gogh,
yeah,
but
but yes, it's
I
it's like
love
that.
it.
Oh, what's that? What's the style of painting he called? It was called. It was
I don't remember.
Impressionist, I
I think
believe.
so, maybe?
It's an
I don't know.
impressionist
Don't
painting
quote
of
me
Baby
on it.
Yoda. So yeah, well,
I love it. That's precious. I'm taking off
thank
my
you.
TIE fighter earrings because the dangles are hitting my earbuds and it's driving me crazy. There we go.
Yeah,
Don't
that
wear
might
TIE
be a little
fighter.
much.
Yeah, a bit, just a little bit. But I have a Grogu pin where he's holding the squid and it moves back and forth like he's
That's
trying to hold it
cute.
still. I know. It's my
That is so
favorite pin I
cute.
think I've ever owned. Except for, no, that's not true. There's a Rise of Skywalker pin I got. It was like a super limited edition one at Disneyland like 2 months before it closed down for the pandemic. And even though The Rise of Skywalker is difficult movie wise, I love the pen. So
Oh, definitely.
it's a good pen.
It's crazy. Like, there's like almost no sequel stuff, and like unless it's like at Walgreens or
It's
something.
really hard to
It's
find.
so hard to find, but everything is either original trilogy or Baby Yoda. It's
Yes.
all or Grogu. Sorry, um, but really we're all calling him Baby Yoda, except
Whatever
for
floats your boat.
yeah, whatever floats your boat. All I know is
So, oh,
yes. Go
sorry.
ahead.
Yes,
Well, all
yes.
I know
So,
is I am not gonna call him the child
the
because that's the
child.
child. I'm
Yeah,
not
that
gonna.
felt very much like a placeholder name
It
until
was
we
very
actually,
forced.
it was very placeholder.
Very forced. Yeah.
So, for anyone who has not listened to the first episode of Fables and Legends, I would recommend going to do that because Brandon's going to do a follow up on his Jedi Prince story from last time. But
Yes.
basically, the episode contains there's first a fable from it's a book of fables and myths that they sell at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I tell one of those. Brandon is continuing his Legends series, which currently is the Jedi Prince. Then
Hmm.
we do a short kind of character bio coverage. Today, I'm actually doing one that I found the characters because I have not watched through the Clone Wars yet, but apparently they were only in the Clone Wars, so I'm going to be doing
Hmm.
them. And then we end with our headcanon of the month, which Brandon has come up with this month's headcanon. So
Yay!
excited
It's
to
gonna be
find
great.
what that is. All right, are you ready to start?
I am so ready to start.
Perfection. Okay, so the fable is it's about a statue. So once upon a time, there was a statue of a robed Twi'lek that stands on a weather-worn mountaintop on the planet of Moraband. Moraband. There we go. Sounds very nice. So, quote, for 1,000 years or more, since the ancient times when the world was known by the name Korriban, this lonesome figure has cast its gaze upon the bleak landscape below, and pilgrims venturing to Moraband in search of succor and forbidden knowledge have detoured to pay tribute to the unnamed figure, a man to whom they imagine great deeds to be ascribed, for he must have been a Sith warrior of startling renown to have such a monument raised in his honor. Unquote. Many have searched ancient records trying to discover. I can't do the talking. Why do I have a podcast when I can never do the talking?
Yeah, that's like the most important part
It's a
of
little
having a
important for
podcast.
this. Yeah. Many have searched ancient records trying to discover the identity of this mysterious Twi'lek, but to no avail. And many assume his legends must have simply been lost throughout time. The stories the locals and those who visit that create of him speak of his great deeds as a warrior and his fearsome appearance, for which they say likely meant certain death if you actually ran into him. Some have sworn that they have seen the statue cry, as if the actual being, the statue itself, laments another passing day or some strange sadness that he holds within him. The statue is called by many names, including the Silent Watcher, the Weeping One, and the Graven Lord. None of the theories or stories concerning the statue ring true, though, for quote, the statue's origins are far stranger and more tragic than even the most creative pilgrim might guess, unquote. Brandon, do you have a theory?
Okay, I have a theory. So you
Yes.
know how like in The Force Awakens, Kylo Ren is able to like stop a blaster bolt with his hand?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that a Force user used the Force to pause this poor Twi'lek
Mm-hmm.
in time, and then like he just left him there, and over
Oh,
decades he was stuck, and then like rock formed over him.
over him.
So like like it's like stalactites. So like rock came in
Oh
and
my
like formed
goodness.
over him over time, and he became a statue, but it's really a person under there stuck in time.
That's so good, actually.
They should have me write these things.
Yeah, that's better than what happens. What happens is actually kind of a Doa moment. If Homer would be like, don't!
Don't.
Yeah. Well, the fact that
Uh,
that's way more fantastic. I'll make this short. So basically, there was a young Twi'lek who was born. Nobody around him wanted to be around him, including like the nurses and everyone who helped birth him. They were like, we just don't want him in our presence. He became an outcast because of this. His mother remained by his side, trying to find help for him, but to no avail. People would basically, these doctors and soothsayers she'd take him to would be like, yeah, something weird is going on with him. And then she'd be like, can you help? And they'd be like, no. And then they'd
oh,
go along their merry way. Yes. So
that's sad.
one day, another robed figure came in. Oh, this child's name was Rye Nimbus, by the way, which sounds like a Harry Potter broomstick. I'm
Well, that's the
just,
Nimbus 3000.
yes.
That's the Nimbus 3000. It's the
Oh,
fastest
crossover.
broom. Fastest
Crossover.
broom there is. Oh, who would win? Who would win? Dumbledore or Darth Vader?
Huh.
I feel.
I feel like Dumbledore?
Yeah, I feel like Dumbledore would because he could turn him into like a frog.
Yeah.
Because like
A
that
force
spell
wielding
exists
frog?
somewhere. Yeah,
Would
force.
would would his midichlorians be destroyed because, or like would they be altered? Like as a frog, does he still have the same, because it's a DNA thing, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know how the science of Harry Potter
That's
works.
fair. Or
Oh no,
yeah.
don't tell J.K. Rowling I said that. She'll say
She will
something and
she
she'll
will
be
post a
like,
whole website of things and people will be like, we didn't want to actually
"This
know
is how
this.
the science of Harry Potter." No, stop it, stop
Stop it.
it.
We don't want
They
it.
pooped on the floor.
We were
Stop,
just
stop.
talking.
No.
We didn't mean it. We're sorry.
Ugh, goodness,
So
Poleaxe.
yeah, Poleaxe. So this robed figure comes and visits this young Twi'lek named Rye Nimbus and his mother. His name is Darth Kaldoth, and he's basically like, "There, your son is strong with this thing called the Force, and if you're cool with it, I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna train him because otherwise, he's just gonna become a terror to himself and everyone around you as his powers grow." And his mother is very hesitant, and she's very distraught over this, but she's ultimately like, I feel helpless otherwise. I don't know what to do, so please just take care of him. She never sees him again, of course. So
Oh,
Darth Kaldoth takes him to this planet called, I don't know if it's pronounced Samoth or Samoth, but he basically like leaves this child here on this place for 7 years, and it's a planet of slave owners, and they have these like gladiator type battles to the death between their slaves and people. Like they
perfect
apparently
environment for a child right there.
wonderful, especially to grow strong with the Force. I mean, it's Darth Kaldoth. He wants to train this kid to be a Sith, but he's like, you
True.
do it, slave owners. And so Rye becomes very well to do in fighting strategies, and he basically watches all those who he defeats and learns from them, but he's never defeated. He's like, I was gonna say he's like Drogo, but you don't know who Drogo is yet. We'll get
Oh
to.
yeah, I know.
He's a
I
Game
know
of
that
Thrones guy.
he is a Game of Thrones person played by Aquaman. That's all
Yes.
I
By the
know.
way, podcast is coming.
Yes, it's
Podcast is
coming.
coming soon.
Oh wait, that's a reference to. Okay, I get it.
Game
I
of
get it
Thrones, yeah.
because it's a reference to the winter
It's
is coming
okay because
thing.
you don't know about it. That's the
I
thing.
know the winter is coming because it was in all the ads.
That's fair. Yeah.
It was a tagline. I was like, oh,
It's a whole. They
something's
don't stop
happening.
saying it.
Well, yeah. Well, it's like those
Anyway,
icemen.
we'll find out.
We'll
Poleaxe.
find out. Sorry, Poleaxe.
Yes. So Kaldoth, one of the reasons he drops Rye off on this slave planet is because one of the biggest things he senses about Rye is that Rye has just this immense hatred growing within him. So he's like, leave him on a slave planet and make him super hateful. Like, wow.
That works. That's just fine. Yeah,
So,
there we
Rye
go.
is left on this planet fighting for his life for 7 freaking years. And after this period of time, Kaldoth comes back one day randomly. And he's like standing in front of everybody, and Rye's like, "What? Who is this person?" And Kaldoth ignites his red lightsaber, and Rye takes note of it because he's like, "Ooh, that's the color of my anger. I want one of those." And so Kaldoth kills everyone on the planet with his lightsaber. I don't know why.
Why? Like,
And he doesn't say. He just kills everyone, and Rye's the last one standing because he didn't come to kill Rye. I don't know why he. I guess he's like, now he's my apprentice, and you did what you need to do, and you can go. I don't know.
but
So
but that just feels like so much work and effort.
I
Like,
know.
just take him and
It
go.
sounds bad. So Rye tries, because Rye doesn't remember who this guy is. Or no, sorry, he does. After all the killing, he's like, "Oh, this is the guy that took me from my home planet and left me here." So he grabs a sword and starts charging towards Kaldoth to be like, "I'm gonna kill this guy." And Kaldoth just, disarms him immediately, and he's like, "No, this was only step one. You don't know anything. This
Oh my
was
goodness.
this was phase one. Now you come with me, and now I train you more." And
Phase one of the three
of the
part
terrible existence.
the three-part terrible existence cinematic universe
Mm-hmm.
for Ryan
Basically.
Nimbus here. Poor guy.
Yeah, yeah, I feel bad for him. So
He probably
Rye
had
goes,
ADHD. That's why everybody thought he was weird.
I mean, maybe.
Probably. I mean, as
They
a person,
literally just needed to give him some meth and then
yeah,
he would feel
meth.
better. So that's what I call my Ritalin, because the actual on the bottle says like methyl din blah blah. And so I can't say it all, and I can't really remember the term Ritalin half the time. So I just say, "Where's my meth?"
They had to give him meth, and it's just fine.
It helps.
Oh my
It
goodness.
helps with the studying.
Uh,
Poleaxe.
Face
Wow.
meth.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Okay.
So
So.
Haldoth takes Rye and we'll call it his ADHD, and he's like, "I must train you in the ways of the Sith." So Caldoth starts taking him on all these missions where he's there. The missions are unclear to Rye as to why they're doing them, but on every mission, they end up getting some sort of ancient artifact or scroll or tablet or something that Caldoth has been after. So they're accumulating all of these pieces, and then Rye eventually finds out that Caldoth wants to become the most powerful Sith in the universe, and he wishes to learn the ancient ways of the Sith in order to accomplish this. So this is why they're out after all of these pieces. So things just get bad. Caldoth becomes more and more and more powerful to where people in the universe won't even say his name. There's a lot of Harry Potter parallels in this story.
Mm,
They won't say his name because they're like, "Oh, he'll hear us and then he'll come and kill us." So
mm.
Rye, though, is done because after all of this time, Caldoth still only lets him read like a certain amount of the tablets and the scrolls. So Rye's like, "This guy is holding me back. I need to become it. I have to kill him. There's no other way that I will be able to obtain my own knowledge and power as long as he's here."
Does he have a
And
Padme to cry about this to? To like
no,
complain about and then
if
break
there
down
is,
crying about it?
it's not in the story.
Darn.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody
So
needs a Padme that they can just casually tell
cry
them, "Oh,
too.
I killed a bunch of Tusken Raiders
I'm
because
so sad now.
my master makes me angry."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So Rai is able to find an old tablet or scroll that has this sort of magical enchantment type thing that if you
Okay.
say the words, the person next to you will turn into stone. And he finds this after Caldoth has commanded Rai to create a statue in Caldoth's likeness and place it on a high mountaintop. So all that will pass will be like, "Oh no, it's that guy. We can't say his name because we're scared of him."
You want to see
So
a statue? I'll give you a statue.
I'll give you a
You.
statue. So Caldoth overhears Rai telling his super secret plan to someone. It doesn't say to who. Maybe it's his Padme. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. This seems like a dangerous thing to tell someone.
Maybe he was calling his mom.
Maybe.
It was a
It
long
just
distance
says
call.
it just says that Kaldoth overheard Rye telling his plan. So, Kaldoth goes in and switches the scroll so that Rye learns the wrong enchantment. So they go up on this mountain, and Rye's like, tee hee hee, I'm finally going to be rid of you. And oh, the irony, you'll finally have your statue. And he starts saying the enchantment, and Rye himself turns into stone. And Caldot's like, mwah, ha, ha, ha.
Well, what
This is
that
where your arrogance got you, Rye. And then he leaves. But Caldoth was happy with this because he was like, ultimately, like, this was a super win for me because I did get my statue, and all that passed by will know of my power. Now, the fact that nobody knows why this statue is here defeats the purpose. I feel like he should have left a sticky note on it. Was like, hey, I'm Kaldoth. This was my apprentice Rye. This is what happens when you try to defeat me. Because nobody knows why it's there now.
Well, maybe, and also you'd have to be going to the Sith planet, which, considering that sometimes the Sith are like the only Sith in existence,
Where
like you'd
is?
have
Does
to
it say where
actually.
this is?
It's Moraban
It's
slash
on
Korriban.
Morband. Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Duh,
it's
I
the
started the whole
planet
story off
of
with
the
that and then I
Sith.
forgot it.
So yeah, you'd kind of have to like go there and be like, oh hey, this is a planet full of Sith, and this guy's really bad guy, but he
Mm,
really could have just pulled a Palpatine and just killed him in his sleep. That
I
seems like
mean,
the most
yeah.
effective thing to do.
Or even
Like
tried space slugs, or
space slugs.
so there's a number of
Yes,
things.
yes, space slugs.
So
You could just toss a thermal detonator in there and run,
yeah,
and just boom, like he's asleep. What's he gonna do?
yeah.
He
But
can't.
I love how the story kind of defeats its own purpose of, ooh, there's a mysterious statue and nobody knows what his purpose is, and the whole reason it's there is because some guy was like, I want a statue for a specific purpose. And I'm like, that didn't work out.
Well, and since nobody knows what the statue's for, it ultimately didn't serve its point because
Yeah, yeah,
nobody
exactly.
knows.
I
Unless.
I don't know why I like to imagine when I read this story, I like to imagine Charlie Day as Caldoth.
Yeah.
Like
Well, the
the
statue is
statue
there
is
to
there.
be a monument
Why
to
does
all
nobody
of
get
the
this?
things that I'm doing as a Sith.
Yes,
You
exactly. And
you
like,
just don't get the parts of it, Frank. You just coming in and lecturing me over here.
yeah, and it makes it really enjoyable.
I want a movie. I want a movie with Charlie Day as a Sith Lord. I
We
want
should
to.
tweet him. Wait, I don't think he
We
has a
should.
Twitter. I think his wife has a Twitter, I think.
Yeah,
The
we'll
waitress has a
tweet
Twitter.
his. Oh yeah, that's right. For
I
some
need
reason,
to
I thought
tweet.
his wife was Felicia Day for some reason, and that's so
No.
wrong.
I always forget
That's
her
so
actual
wrong.
name, which is terrible of
It's
me.
like, yeah, it is the waitress. That's like part of what's so funny about it.
Right, right, right.
Oh
Anyway, but
man,
that's the
yeah.
story. That's the fable.
Isn't it ironic that we can't actually remember the name of the woman who plays the
The
waitress,
waitress,
since they can't remember her name
it's like
either?
that's the whole point of
That's
it,
the
I guess.
joke. It's so funny.
But it's like I
Anyway,
follow her on social media. Like why can't Mary Elizabeth Ellis?
oh,
Why did I not
okay,
remember Mary? Elizabeth sounds familiar. Anyway, okay, we
yes.
have a name. So,
So we need to tweet her,
yes,
"Hey,
and be like, "Can your
put your
husband play
husband
a
on
Sith?"
put your husband on the tweet
On the
and
tweet, we would
on the
like to
tweet,
discuss a
and
potential
we want to
Sith,
discuss the thing. DM us,
even though
just
we have no control or power in
in Hollywood.
Lucasville or
Yeah,
Hollywood or Disney.
we'll send them a letter.
We'll send them a tweet too.
We'll send them a tweet.
But if you tweet them as well, see, then
Well, yeah,
that can get things going.
we've got like 4 social media accounts between all of us on Twitter,
Yeah.
and that's not even getting into
If all
Instagram.
four of us tweet them, this could happen, maybe.
We could do this. We could do
Yeah.
this. I think we could. I think this could happen. We just need to send them all tweets, and if we get on Instagram, then we could go crazier.
You know what my
Cause
favorite would be though is if
what?
Charlie got to be a Sith and then Dee got to be a Jedi. That would be the
Yes, that
best.
would be so
Shut up,
great.
Charlie! It's like, shut up! I'm strong with the Force.
Oh, you. Well, I can't like
You
whenever she
can't
gets
cuss,
like that, you
yeah.
can't cuss, but
Yeah.
yeah, great stuff. Oh
Anyway,
man,
tell
it's
us about the
always
Jedi Knight.
yes. Okay, so on to the legend part of our fables and legends. By the way, excellent fable there. I don't know what
Oh,
the
thank
moral of the
you.
story was,
I don't,
but
yeah. It's make your own
obviously,
entertainment,
yeah. It's
which is
people
what I
talking
did
about
with
things.
Charlie. Yeah.
So, previously on the glove of Darth Vader, also known as the Jedi Prince,
Yeah. And if you haven't heard
um,
this, literally just go listen to episode 1 and it's all
yes,
covered there in detail.
Trioculus, who is
Mm-hmm.
basically the bad guy of the entire series, he
Ew.
found the glove of Darth Vader, and he escaped and vowed vengeance on Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker saved the whales.
Yeah.
The whalodons. He saved the
Yeah.
whales,
Yeah.
and then Han Solo completely he ditched the rebellion. He's building a sky house that
He
he can
just
live
really
in
needs
with
his
Chewbacca.
treehouse in the clouds with Chewie.
Yeah, it's
It's
kind of like
very
a
important.
treehouse, but with no tree, so it's
Uh-huh.
just a house.
Yeah.
But so this is the lost city of the Jedi, and we start out in Cloud City, where Han is building his dream sky house, and Luke and R2D2 and C3PO are all visiting him. The reason that Luke and company are there on Cloud City is because they're helping Lando Calrissian fight food pirates who are stealing food from Cloud City and selling it to the Empire. I don't know why the Empire needs like
yeah, the Empire's
yeah
all powerful. Why can't they grow their own
yeah,
food? I'm
why do
so
they need
confused.
food? Maybe all of their food was on the Death Star. They put
Oh,
all of their food on the Death Star.
all of their greenhouses
They were
were on the
so
Death Star.
certain. They were so certain. They were like, we got
It'll be
this. You know, it
fine.
didn't work the first time, but the
Yeah,
second time it's going to
it's
work.
going to
Let's
work.
put all of our food, all of our stores of food on the Death Star. And
That makes
suddenly
so
it
much more sense. And they're
explodes.
like,
And
we
they're
are
like, dang it.
starving.
We
This
need
is
food now.
wow. Okay,
Couldn't
that
they just pull up to like the space McDonald's and like
yeah. I mean, they
get
even have those in
McDonald's?
like the Fifth Element. Like if the
Yeah.
Fifth Element's better, like more high tech than Star
Yeah,
Wars.
multi-pass. Just get yourself
Yeah,
a multi-pass, man.
yeah.
So R2D2, we get our first amusing acronym of the novel.
Okay.
R2D2 has created the warning and detection device, which is
Mhm.
also known as a WAD. So, you need to make sure that you don't blow your WAD. Um, there.
Was he super proud of himself for this acronym?
He probably was like so happy that it made a word, and he was like, this is so
This is
awesome,
amazing.
guys, I just made it's called a wad, and
Ah,
it's gonna be great. It's gonna make sure we find all these pirates.
makes
And
you
Luke
feel
was like,
super safe to say it too.
yeah, cool. Yes,
Wad. I've got a
I
wad.
know
Don't
my
mess with
wad.
my ship.
I know my wad makes me feel very
Very
safe,
safe.
but it's
All right.
so
So there's a wad.
Han Solo is building a sky mansion, as
Uh-huh.
I've said before, and I'm talking like an actual mansion. Like it's like big. It's got all of these rooms,
Okay.
and he this is like a revolutionary idea. And he says if you don't like the cloud you're living on, you just drift to another one. And to me, it seems like he's forgetting that he has the Millennium Falcon, which basically
Is
functionally
that?
does the exact same thing.
But it's not a house.
It's not a
It
house,
doesn't
but
look
it's
like a
got
house from the outside.
beds. Well, you could
Couldn't he
just
build a
make it
house
look.
around the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, there you go. That would work. It would get shot at all the time, though.
Yeah,
But that
true.
that's an old ship. It could kind of it needs to be retired into a house. And people, Ray lives in a spaceship.
Yeah,
No,
she
she lives
does.
in
Well, it's like a very old.
AT-AT.
Yeah,
That's what it is. But she
that's
lives in a
it's
big
the same
vehicle.
thing in my
He could
book.
live in a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, he'd be fine.
Anyway,
Anyway, okay.
so there's kind of a sweet little moment between Luke and Han that if you knew nothing about them would kind of come off as kind of romantic between
Hmm.
them, where Luke says, "I was just wondering, Han," said Luke, "is there any special reason why you made the house with so many bedrooms?" "Why do you ask?" Han replied suspiciously. Luke gave a shy smile. "Well, I guess I was just wondering if you ever intend to get married and fill this house with kids." It's just kind of
Oh,
cute.
that's really
It's kind of cute.
sweet.
If it was a gay romance, I would say that
It'd be
that's
cute.
adorable. But obviously, Luke is asking about his sister Leia,
Right.
and Han is I don't know what the deal is with him in these books, but he is a gigantic jerk. He says If I ever do decide to get married, which is a highly improbable, Leia is at the top of my list. But this is just wild speculation.
Wow.
Like, oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, he's kind of terrible.
I
But
wish this
Han,
information had gotten back to Leia.
yeah, I know. It's like,
She deserves
really?
better.
She told him she loved him twice. No,
She's at the top
three
of my
times.
list.
3 times. Like, I love you, I know. Someone who loves you in Jabba's palace, and then like when she goes, well, when he goes, I love you, and she goes, I know. So like, he's just kind of being a real Dennis here to
He's
go back
being
to
a
our
real
Always Sunny.
Dennis.
Han, oh my God, Han is doing the Dennis
the
system.
the checklist thing, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the checklist thing. He's like,
Oh gosh,
oh
is Star
goodness.
Wars It's Always Sunny? We
Star
just
Wars
haven't
is
recognized this? How?
it always leads back to Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
So Han cooks them a spicy Corellian meal. The novel says that he wears an apron,
Lovely.
which I like to think it's frilly and has hearts on it.
Yeah.
No, it says kiss the pilot or something like that. That's what I like to
I
think.
feel like there would be Chewbacca fur on it.
Yeah, there would be. Well,
Yeah.
Chewbacca. I can
Does
see
Chewbacca
Chewbacca in an
shed?
apron.
Yeah, I'm thinking like
Has he?
he would wear it because
He
he
would
doesn't want to mess
totally
up his
wear it.
fur.
If he shed, Han has to do a really good
A
job keeping
lot.
that ship clean
Maybe he has a
because
vacuum droid.
maybe he does. Oh, that would make so much sense.
Yeah.
Like it's just
He
always
he's got a Roomba.
or L3 just like every time they go out like cuz L3 is like the brain of the Millennium Falcon since
Mm-hmm.
Solo. Like every
Mm-hmm.
time he goes out, L3 just turns on the air conditioner and just blasts all
Just
the
blast
fur
it
out.
out. Yeah.
So, but apparently, he doesn't want chili stains on his vest.
Yeah.
So
Totally get it.
he puts on a big frilly pink apron.
Love it.
Link. Okay, it's Link. Luke. Sorry, Luke Skywalker, not Link from Legend of Zelda. Luke is like, okay, thank you. I've eaten so much food. I'm so stuffed. He's got like a big belly. And he's like, oh, that was good. Luke goes to his Y-Wing, which I don't know why he's flying a Y-Wing in this
Yeah, when
book.
did he get this?
Yeah, because he's always had an X-Wing, so I don't know why he traded it in for a Y-Wing. Maybe it's
Mm.
like the next year's model.
Yeah.
And so he gets in his ship, and suddenly it explodes. And I don't know how he's okay, but apparently the food pirates put like a car bomb in his Y-Wing. So
Wow.
Han has to change plans. He's like he has to fly Luke back to Yavin 4 because Luke can't fly, and it
Why can't
says,
Luke fly? Is he
oh,
injured?
he got felt bad. He blew up, so he's
Oh.
injured, but he's okay.
Okay.
But
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
he's
Okay.
okay, and it's not serious, but it's also not great. I think his hand got messed up, like his robotic hand,
Oh
which
no.
if it exploded hard enough to blow up his robotic
His
hand,
physical
his
human
regular
hands should
hand.
not be okay.
Maybe his body is made out of the same material as Darth Vader's glove. But
Ooh. Ooh.
anyway, so
Whoa.
Han pilots them back to Yavin 4. Leia greets them, and she's
Hmm.
just kind of there. She doesn't do much in this book
Yeah,
at
no.
all.
She's
Um,
just there
she's
when
just
it's
there.
convenient.
She's just there. So the plot gets moving when Luke has a dream. Obi-Wan goes to him and says, "Go find the lost city of the Jedi. Also, here's a password." And the password is basically Jedi Force with a
Hmm.
bunch of like numbers in it. It's like JE99DI88FOR like 00CE. It's just
Okay.
like I it's a weird password, but you
Hmm.
know what? Whatever.
I'm glad Luke doesn't have ADHD.
That would be good
I've already
because
forgotten it. I'd be like, there was
yeah.
something I needed to remember,
Well, actually,
but
we'll get
it's
to that.
gone.
We'll
Okay. All
get
right.
to that
All right.
because I think he forgets too.
Oh,
But
okay.
maybe Luke does have ADHD. As a
Maybe.
person with ADHD, I would hate being on Tatooine so much because
Yeah.
there's nothing
It'd
to
be a
do.
lot.
So Luke looks for the lost city of the Jedi, and
Hmm.
we finally meet the one human inhabitant of the city.
Okay. Tell me about
Ken.
this.
Ken is a 12-year-old boy,
Okay.
and he has a pet Mooka named Zebo. He
Aw.
licks his face to wake him up.
Aw.
Ken says this: "Just once I wish I could hear the bark of a dog or the meow of a cat instead of the ksh of a Mooka.
Wait, what?
That's Kin. He
Wait,
wishes.
hold on, but
Yeah,
there are no dogs and cats in Star Wars. There's
I
this Mooka thing, and there's like the Loth cats from Lothal.
yeah. There's Loth wolves, but there's no Loth
Was this
dogs.
kid sent from our universe after watching the
You
first
know
Star
what?
Wars
That
trilogy into this universe?
I feel like it could be like a Gwynpool type thing where he's just
Okay,
like a
okay.
regular person
That would
who's
make more
like suddenly
sense.
in our universe. That would make so much sense because like the thing is he's been raised all of his life in the lost city of the Jedi. When he was a little boy, he like some guy in robes came and took him to
Uh-huh.
like Harry Potter. It's
Yeah.
just like Harry Potter. Some guy in robes took him and laid him on the lost city of the Jedi's doorstep. And so he grew up there and
Okay.
he's because of the amazingly updated Jedi library, he's like the ultimate Star Wars fan. He loves Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. And here is the biggest crazy thing in the official like illustrations of the book. Ken is such a super fan that he has Star Wars toys. He has Star Wars toys
Look at his little
in the book.
Millennium Falcon
He's got
action
like yeah,
figure.
he's got like a Tie Fighter X-wing. He's got a Jabba the Hutt action figure. How did he get these?
How? Why
How?
would figures of Jabba be
Why
sold?
does he have a Darth Vader at like in the that would be like having a Hitler action
Yeah,
figure. I'm gonna be
yeah.
100% honest.
Okay,
He
it's
has a
weird
Darth
to
Vader
imagine
toy.
like that these people that are, like kind of celebrities in their universe, but still not everybody knows about them, has these toys made of them by someone. But then you're like, no, I really like, I need the one of the good guy and Darth Vader
Yeah, I need Darth Vader. It's
to
like
play, to be like good and bad guy.
yeah, I guess so.
But
It's
yeah,
just
that would still be
strange.
weird
Well, he
to
has a
have
Yoda
like little
toy.
Hitler on your.
Yeah, little Hitler. Well, he has a Yoda toy. Nobody knows who Yoda is unless you were in the Clone Wars.
He
And even
knows.
then, well,
Yeah,
Yoda
he's.
knows.
I'm gonna say he's a Gwynpool.
That's what Yoda was doing on
Making
like
action
on
figures?
Dagobah. He was making action figures. The swamp conditions were perfect
They were
for
perfect
making
for,
action figures.
yeah, drying the
And
paint
buy my
and.
action figures, you should. Get it would be like that scene in Spaceballs with like actual Yoda.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
So Kin has several little droid friends. There's
Mm-hmm.
HC-100, also known as Homework Correction Droid.
Okay.
When Kin is sleeping, HC-100 sneaks into his room and grades his homework. This causes Ken to say, "This isn't fair at all, Zebo. HC obviously snuck into my dome house, found my computer notebook, and graded my report even though I didn't finish it yet. He gave me a 65. That's practically failing. HC is turning into a spy and a nuisance, and I won't miss him a bit when I leave today on my secret journey top world." So,
There's so many problems with that
yeah, I
sentence.
know, I know. He is he's got a lot. There's a lot of exposition there, and
Yeah, I
he
just
he's like
why he has school but he lives underground, so the droid teaches him, or is this a full on like fend for yourself cult
well.
homeschool
Here's the
place?
thing,
And then why does
DJ.
he grade it? If he's a droid, he should know not to grade it till it's finished.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
are there deadlines and he grades it before the deadline?
maybe Ken's just an idiot and he didn't realize the deadline came up,
Yeah,
and so he
okay,
didn't
maybe.
finish it.
Maybe.
DJ is his teacher. HC
Okay.
like literally all HC-100 does is correct his homework,
He literally exists to
and
grade
he
homework.
literally exists to grade
Wow.
homework.
That does sound like
Um,
a nightmare for a 12-year-old.
Well, I mean, like teachers' assistants also exist for the same reason, and they're
Right.
actual people, and
That's
they probably
fair.
get paid less than HC-100 does too. So,
So
um,
anyway, Top World
so
Adventure.
there are two more droids. DJ, I was talking about. DJ is the droid who is in charge. He's Kin's teacher. Then there's Microchip. He is also known as Chip. He is a droid who was built when Ken was a baby to be his
Okay.
only friend.
Oh,
One last
that's
fact
really
about
sad.
Ken. Ken has a silver crystal that he always wears around his neck. This is probably gonna like
Is
go.
this
This
gonna
is
become a
it's
Kyber crystal?
No, oh, I don't know. I can't actually remember, but
Anyway, okay, so
this
he's got a
crystal is
crystal.
around his neck, and it's like super important, like about
Okay.
backstory stuff or whatever. So, for several pages, if you want to know about Ken's like attitude and outlook on life, this is like how he treats the people around him. Well, maybe if you droids could think, it would occur to you that I'd like some friends who are my own age. Why, Master Ken, I was manufactured the same month you were, Chip replied. I am your own age. I meant a human friend, not a robot, not a droid. So Ken is very ungrateful. Instead of
I
going to
mean,
class,
has he just lived underground his whole life?
yes,
Oh,
maybe he has ADHD too. Maybe that's like
I
it's
mean, I would understand not, but like, I. Anyway, go on.
okay.
Go
Let's
on.
go move on.
Yeah.
Instead of going to class, Ken decides to take the elevator top world. It's actually really easy to do this. It's like he just goes to the elevator and nobody stops him except for Chip. And Chip's like, "Don't you do that, Ken?" And Ken just grabs Chip and they go into the elevator to the top of the world. So back on Yavin, Luke Skywalker is looking for the lost city of the Jedi. There he meets a giant alien named Baji. He's like 7 feet tall and he's got like weird like vines growing out of his head.
Okay.
He is a Hodin healer, and he also only talks in rhyme, which is
Oh.
my least favorite
Oh. Oh
kind
gosh.
of trope ever.
Okay.
So this is a little bit of his linguistic genius.
Hmm.
A Hodin healer never lies. Kaibo plants cure the eyes, so rare and hard to find. For the blind man, so very kind.
So is this foreshadowing? Is someone going to become blind and then
Oh
they need to
yes,
go
oh
find Kobo
yes,
plants or whatever they're called?
oh yes, Kaibo plants.
Kaibo
Yes, they're
plants. Okay.
they're they're it's very very blatant foreshadowing.
Love it.
So
Love how much of a psychic this Vine person is.
oh yes, Baji is like
Baji.
Baji. He's great. Suddenly, Ken bursts out of the forest
Oh my
with
goodness.
Chip, and Luke draws his lightsaber. Like,
It's
and
a
he's like,
child!
"I know,
No!
ah, he might be having bad dreams. Oh God,
No! It's a kid! I don't like them.
He's gonna go the family business of
Murder.
He's murdering children. Woohoo! So Ken does not recognize that this is Luke Skywalker, even though
He
it,
has an
it
action
is.
figure of him?
Well, yeah, and Luke Skywalker has a lightsaber, and wouldn't he like recognize that there's like only like one person in the
Yeah.
universe at this time that has
Yeah.
a lightsaber that's
Oh
green?
well.
Oh well. So the following conversation ensues. Why are you spying on us? Luke asked. Who are you? I'm not programmed to give out my name to strangers, the silver droid said. That's just what I'd expect a spy to say, Luke replied. So Luke is not very bright. Luke asks Ken his name, and their
Hmm.
conversation will no doubt sound familiar. What's your name? Ken, he replied. Ken what? The boy shrugged.
Ken
Just Ken.
Skywalker. I've always wanted to be a Skywalker.
Hey,
No,
I'm Luke
kid, you are a
Skywalker.
Palpatine. No!
Oh, just
Can
wait.
I be a Kenobi? Ken Kenobi?
Well,
No.
that's why he
It's only
thinks his name is.
Skywalkers and Palpatines.
Fun fact:
That's it.
he thinks his name is Ken because he's named after Obi-Wan Kenobi. He thinks that
He
like
thinks he's been
that's
named after Obi?
yeah. He thinks Ken like Kenobi.
Right. I
So
mean,
that's
okay.
why he thinks his name is Ken, is because
Okay.
he thinks that the Jedi Master who dropped him off is somehow related to Obi-Wan Kenobi or something like that.
Okay. So,
So that's his theory. I
mhm.
don't want to say what his true
What's actually going
revelation
on?
is
Yeah.
because it's a huge twist, guys. It's a
Oh,
huge
I'm so
twist.
excited.
It's so big. So Luke introduces himself, and Ken literally kneels before him. But suddenly, DJ appears and tells Ken he's been bad and he needs to go home. Apparently, he was supposed to only go to Top World when he became a man. So DJ shoots smoke out of his fingertips and they disappear into the forest. For some reason, this upsets Luke, and I think it's because he needs to go to the lost city of the Jedi. But he's like, Ken, where's Ken? Ken, I need you! And he runs off into the forest to find Ken.
Huh.
Baji finds Ken's computer
I feel
notebook,
like this
which
is Ken's fan fiction.
it really is. Like,
Pretty
I
sure
mean,
this is Ken's fan fiction.
Ken, I'm gonna just come out and say it. Ken is a Mary Sue. I'm gonna come out and say it.
Oh
Ken is a
no.
Mary
Oh
Sue.
no.
He is a Mary Sue. Like, I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad. It gets worse. It
Okay.
just gets worse. So, the notebook has the inscription, "This notebook belongs to Ken, Dome House 12, South Jedi Lane." So apparently
Oh. Love
there's
that
more than
lanes are
one.
literally named Jedi.
Yeah, there's at least more than one Jedi Lane. So
Love
meanwhile,
it.
so we haven't seen Trioculus yet.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, he has gone to see the prophets of the dark side. They're on Space Station Scardia. The prophets of the dark side, they're not like actual Sith. They're
Okay.
like just a bunch of hacks that use like bribery and like brute force and money to like make people believe that they're like these powerful force users, and they make these prophecies
Okay.
that like really only just kind of come true because they make them come true. It's actually kind of interesting of a
Gotcha.
concept.
Okay,
But
all right.
um
Sounds like a lot of
Kadan,
work, but you know what?
it
If you
is a
don't
lot of
have the
work.
Force and you want
Yeah,
to
if you
be
don't
a
have the
Sith,
force, you got to make it work. You
you
got to
got
make it work. So
They're like the
Kadan,
Sith mob or something.
yeah, they're basically the Sith mob.
Okay.
Kadan is like the Sith godfather, and
Uh-huh.
Trioculus needs his dark blessing.
Oh,
And of
okay.
course, Kadan knows that Trioculus is a phony.
Uh-huh.
And that the real son of Palpatine is a man named Triclops, who
Hmm.
has a third eye on the back of his head,
Not the
but not on the
front.
front. And not
Oh,
it's a key
oh,
difference. I wonder
yes.
if there's like a guy whose name is like Three Eyes, and he's got like an eye on the side of his head, and
They're
that would
like,
be
this is
funny.
getting confusing, guys.
This is getting confusing. There's too many of these three-eyed guys out there. So, but
The
Triclops.
anti-vaxxers of Star Wars universe are like, this is what happens when you
It's just
vaccinate. You
what
have
happens
an
when you
extra
vaccinate your
eye.
kid. You have an extra eye growing out of your head. Then he becomes an evil slave
It's
lord, and
bad.
it's bad. So the real son of Palpatine is a man named Triclops,
Okay.
and the Kadan's like, "You killed Triclops, Trioculus," and Trioculus is like, no, I didn't. We actually locked him up because he's like a danger to himself and others." And the Grand Moffs felt that as the only other three-eyed person in the galaxy that like is evil, they figured that I should be the person who's the new emperor. And Kadan's like, "This makes sense to me. I give you my dark blessing."
Fantastic.
But
That was easy.
there's there's a bad thing. There's a
Uh-oh.
bad prophecy
Uh-oh.
that there is a Jedi Prince in the lost city of the Jedi
Oh
who
no.
will destroy Trioculus if he's not careful. So Kadan tells him, "Go find this boy and kill him." Oh, and Trioculus has like this moment of temporary blindness. This
Oh, and that's what
very
they need the
important
berries
window.
for.
Yes, that's what they need the Kaibo seeds for.
Love it.
So, at the next, and you remember Spin, which is like the secret spy network of all the rebels and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So at the next Spin meeting, Trioculus sends in a little remote control ball with all these explosives in it. Luke and Han try to destroy it. Leia does nothing again, even though like literally everybody in the room should be picking up a gun and trying to shoot this thing. I mean, all
Mm-hmm.
their action figures came with the little guns. So
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
would they not pull
Why
those
would she
out?
not? She's
Like,
like Buttercup in the forest
oh
where
my
Wesley's
goodness.
having to fight the ROUSs and she's
Yes.
just standing there screaming and it's like you could literally do
You could,
anything.
yeah, just doesn't she gets a log and she hits it. I
Yeah, like a
remember
stick or
that one
something.
part.
But
It's
it's
like a
like
stick.
when Wesley's already been eaten up pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's only at the last minute. They really play up the princess angle here.
Yes, she's very much a
So,
princess in this.
Trioculus sees Princess Leia and he
Hmm.
becomes very enamored with her. He says,
Oh.
"She has a striking face." This is my Trioculus voice. "She has a striking face," said Trioculus. "Strong features, but soft. Not at all unattractive, considering she's a Rebel Alliance woman with only two eyes." I think Trioculus,
Sounds
Trioculus
like
is
a
the
Game
kind of
of Thrones compliment, honestly.
you know what? We'll go with it. Like, hey, you know what? I think Trioculus is the kind of guy he wants to keep his dating options open. He's like,
Yeah,
I prefer women with three eyes, but
but not
I.
everyone's been vaccinated.
Not everybody is a radiation-soaked mutant like me. So,
Oh
um,
no.
So Trioculus like talks through the ball and he's like, "I'm gonna blow you up if you don't tell me where the lost city of the Jedi is." And Luke like uses the Force to make the ball stand still, and he slashes it with his lightsaber. It's all
Okay.
good. So Trioculus is like, "Well, darn, now time for Plan B." And so Plan B is just burn the entire rainforest down all over the whole planet.
Not like send
So
in a spy or
no. That's too easy. Like they
oh.
have to get a bunch of tanks out. Look, this is about protecting the environment, Chloe. Every book in this series is about learning to protect the environment.
Oh, so he
And
has
you
to
have
burn
to
down the forest so that people can be
yeah.
like, this is
It's like
bad, you don't
it's
burn
like
down
the Amazon.
forests.
Yeah, you don't burn down forests.
Oh,
It's
I
like the
see.
Amazon.
Okay.
Like
Okay,
what they
got
should
it.
like if America was like the rebellion, we would have sent like airplanes over there and tried to put out the fires, but like
Right.
we're not like the rebellion, so we didn't do
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
um
It's making sense now.
Trioculus like he sends all these tanks, but all of a sudden he goes blind. He's super blind and like Trioculus's like medical droid MD has like I don't know why you're blind all of a sudden. This is weird. And
This
then
seems
Grand
like a
Moff
big deal.
Hista, he's like, "Ooh, Trioculus, we found a Hoden healer nearby. You could probably heal you," which is this is what Grand Moff Hissa sounds like to me now. So
Okay.
he's gonna talk like this now.
Okay.
So he's like, we're gonna go find this Hoden healer, and he's gonna help heal you.
Okay.
So
This is
so
Bindu. Not
Baji,
Bindu.
Baji,
Bachi. Bindu.
Bindu is isn't he the
Bindu's in
guy?
Rebels, sorry.
Yeah, he's in Rebels. He's the big. Oh, you want
I
to know
am the
something
Bindu.
fun fact? That's voiced by the fourth Doctor from Doctor Who,
That's
Bendu.
so
I know it's
cool.
cool. Tom Baker.
Tom Baker,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the fourth Doctor. He voices
I
too.
love that.
Really cool. Fun fact. I
Oh,
think
I
David
hope I'm
Tennant is
remembering Tom
in.
Baker correctly. Now I'm saying Tom Baker, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be wrong. Anyway,
Yeah, it's like
continue.
fun fact, like Doctor Who and Star Wars crossing over. So somehow Ken got to Top World again.
Tom Baker.
Um,
Anyway, yes, sorry.
yes, he got
Continue.
to he got to the top of the world again, and apparently there was no security or anything that he had to go through. He could just like get on the elevator again, and like
Hmm.
it never doesn't even tell us if he has to go through or if he's put under guard. So I guess he just
All the guards
leaves.
have died because of global warming.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
Because
just
it's so
FYI,
hot.
I'm not actually making fun of environmental stuff. That's very important.
Yes,
I'm
it's
making
very
fun of the
important.
books.
It's very important that
I'm
we are
not saying
both
don't take environmental stuff
we
seriously.
are both pro anti climate
And get
change. So
vaccinated, please.
get
If you
vaccinated.
can.
Yes,
Yes.
we are very. We need to make this clear
We,
before
I
anybody
don't, I
before
don't want
Twitter
to be
cancels
on Glenn
us.
Beck's podcast tomorrow, and they're like, these two random nobodies have decided Star Wars is anti-vaxxer, and we're gonna sell it. No, I don't want to do
Oh
that.
goodness, that'd be
Anyway,
horrible.
continue.
Joe Rogan, like, so
Oh
why did you
no.
think
Oh gosh.
why do you think that Star Wars supports an anti-vaxxer message, man? Anyway, so
I would get more listeners that way, I
you would
guess.
get.
But
I mean, if you were on Joe Rogan, you would get a lot of
I would get some
listeners.
listeners, yeah.
But
I'm very
so
grateful for all of my listeners, by the way.
yay,
Continue.
listeners, hooray! Okay, we've
Very Poleaxe, all right.
yes, very Poleaxe. So Baji is there at the entrance to the elevator for some reason, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm sad that my first is burning down. I
Glad he was
feel
just
like
waiting there for someone to stop by so we could tell that to that person.
yeah. So Well, I need to make it rhyme, so I guess that I would do the opposite of give the person who did this a crown. I don't know.
Love
Anyway,
it.
so Baji is like, Ken, my hut, it's got all these incredibly rare medicinal flowers. It's gonna be destroyed if the forest goes in flames. And like Ken's like, bye, and he goes off. But then stormtroopers take Baji,
Oh
and
no.
Trioculus brings Baji before him, and Baji points out the reason that Trioculus is going blind is because of the glove of Darth Vader. Now, Trioculus doesn't want to take off the glove, but MD, the medical droid, is like, maybe we should try taking off the glove. Because I put,
I don't want to, I said, but sir,
but
you're
we gotta try
blind.
it. Because the thing
We
is,
put things into the glove to make it do the stuff because you're an
yeah,
idiot and you thought
yeah,
it was magical and it's not magical, but you have no force power, so we had to put
yeah.
little electric things in the glove and they're messing with your body.
Also, and the bad thing is, those things that I put in the glove also had these horrible side effects that I did not inform you about.
Sorry about
So,
that.
funnily enough, Trioculus takes off the glove and his
Good.
hand is like gross and like messed up. It's like
Ew.
really gross. And like I think this confirms that Trioculus wore these gloves to poop
Ew.
because he hasn't taken off this glove, and like I
Wow.
can only
Like he
assume it's
literally
been
slept in it
days.
and everything. He never took
Yeah.
it off.
Well, because if he didn't see
That's a
his hand all
lot.
gross and
That's
stuff, that's
true.
yeah. So
Unless
he
he
would have.
just like went into super denial about it.
I guess so. No, no, he was totally pooping in that glove. Oh god, I hope he's left-handed because he had to use that to wipe. He had to use
Ew.
that to wipe, and it's like maybe he washed the glove. Like I don't
I
know.
mean, I would
We're
assume so, but
we're moving on, but it's gross.
okay.
So, get a Trioculus action figure with the little poop covered glove. Anyway,
Ew.
so Baji gives Trioculus those Kaibo seeds that we talked about earlier. Told you that would be like so important
Yeah,
for
yeah.
all of that. And they help restore his vision. But the bad news is to permanently get his vision back, he needs to eat Kaibo seeds for 100 days. And all of the remaining Kaibo seeds are in Baji's hut, which is now on fire. And
Oh, goodness.
Trioculus runs. He runs all the way to Baji's hut. It's like, oh god, oh god, oh god, we gotta get down, get out, help me. Anyway, he runs into the hut by himself
I
and
love how he
grabs the
doesn't
seeds.
send servants or anything. He's like,
No,
oh,
it's him. He
he's
does it
so
himself.
freaked out. I'm
If you
glad
want a
he can
job
see
done
well enough
right,
to get there.
do it yourself.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, the Rebel Alliance are trying to put out the fires on Yavin, and Han, ever the likable person, complains, I should be putting the finishing touches on my sky house right now, but instead I'm stuck piloting the Falcon around on another
Can
crazy
someone
mission
knock
for
him
the
out of
Alliance.
the ship,
I
please?
know, he's like,
He's
he's
such a little
really
grumpy gills.
just the worst in this book. So Han crashes the Falcon. I think it's because everything's on fire, and he and Chewie meet up with Luke. And DJ comes along with Ken, and he's like, "Look at my son. Do you see how bad he's been? I'm so sorry, Mr. Skywalker, but my son just escaped." And Luke's like, "Yeah, I've got like really important things to do right now because like the whole forest is
Everything's
on
on
fire.
fire.
Everything's on fire." And then
Like this whole
Ken
story.
recognize yeah will this agony ever end?
Ever
um
end.
so Ken recognizes Han Solo. I've always wanted to meet you, Mr. Solo,
Glad
for
you
just about
recognize
my
Solo, but not the Jedi.
I guess not. Well, I mean, to be fair, Luke has like a million costumes and Han just has the
Oh, just
one.
has the one?
He's
That's
just got the
easier.
one,
This
like
is
the
true.
the shirt and the vest.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to meet you, Mr. Solo, for just about my entire life. You're one of the best Corellian pilots in the whole galaxy. What do you mean one of? Han replied. You know someone better?
Wow.
Snoke Larowan made the trip from here to the Bespin system in 15 standard time parts, Ken said, without even batting an eyelash. Now, Snoke Larowan is an interesting name there
Yeah,
because it
yeah,
reminds
yeah,
me
yeah.
of
It is actually.
the interesting little character from the sequel trilogy, Snoke. So I am only convinced that J.J. Abrams read this book. How old is J.J. Abrams? I'm just gonna.
I want to say
I'm
mid
wondering
30s,
right now.
maybe early 40s. I could be
J.J.
wrong.
Abrams
But regardless,
because
Snoke could have been like an
oh
actual person, and
no,
then they used his clone to. They
there you
cloned
go.
him and then used his clone for the Kylo stuff.
Okay, he's 54 years
Oh,
old.
he's much older than I thought he was.
He's 54 years old.
You don't
So
look
let's
a day
see.
over 40, Mr.
Yeah,
J.J.
you're
Abrams.
are we trying to get like get on JJ's
Assuming
good
he
side?
randomly comes across this podcast one day and
you
listens. I
you look
just wanted to
great.
throw
You're
that out there.
well, okay, he was 29 when these books came out, so he probably wasn't like me and read these books as a kid, but
Maybe doesn't he have kids?
yeah,
Maybe.
that's right. You could have read it. Okay, now we got to figure out if
Okay,
it
anyway,
was
go on. Go on.
yeah,
We'll search
if
this
anybody
later.
if anybody knows when J.J. Abrams' kids were first born, tell us because if he read this to his kids, it's just
Did
like,
he
oh
get
my
the idea
god.
of Snoke from. Wait, no, but. Oh, that's right. Snoke
Let's
was
see.
introduced in The Force Awakens,
And
but
the
we
Force
didn't meet
Awakens,
Snoke
his
until
movie,
The Last
yeah,
Jedi. Okay, that's
yeah.
right.
So like
Okay.
he was like, maybe I
Or
should
maybe
steal some of
Snoke is
this
like
for
one
my
of
Star
those
Wars
names. Like
movie.
maybe Lucasfilm has a book of names where they're like, these are just acceptable Star Wars names, and Snoke is one of them.
Well, I know that, and this is, and I'll pull X after we get done with this, but I know that like the thing about George Lucas is basically anytime he wrote a script, he would basically like say, like anytime he wrote a new script, he would go and look back at his like old stuff, and he would say, okay, I'm gonna look for stuff from like the Bendu,
Right,
right?
right.
That's a name from the Jedi Bendu, which was the original name for the Jedi back in like one of the original scripts
Oh,
for
they were originally
Star
called
Wars.
Bendu and not
So I
Jedi.
bet that at some point in one script
God.
of Star Wars or something like that, there was a guy named Snoke,
Snoke.
and they were like, "Oh, hey, what's a good name for this evil bad guy character?" Ooh, Snoke,
That
Snoke.
works out. I
That
like
sounds
that.
pretty like smoke, like it's
Yeah,
like really
I
mysterious.
like
Like,
that.
yeah, let's go
Anyway,
with that. So I think that's what it is. But so it turns out, conveniently for our heroes, that the last lost city of the Jedi actually has control over the weather of Yavin 4.
oh, that's another
Because
conspiracy theory.
yeah, there you go. Um,
Oh,
so the Empire space laser. Are
yeah,
we gonna
yeah,
start talking about
yeah.
that?
Gosh. Oh my
Oh
gosh. There's
goodness.
so much in this
The
book.
Empire are causing these forest fires with.
Oh
That's
no.
honestly more plausible than the Jewish space lasers.
Yeah,
But
yeah, for
okay.
sure.
Anyway, so the Jedi, it turns out they terraformed all of Yavin 4 when they first settled there.
Okay.
So they built this big city underground and they terraformed the whole thing, but they have this weather control machine, and the unfortunate thing is they don't know the password to turn
Oh,
on the weather
oh.
control machine.
Someone
That's
has
when
the password.
Luke has to reach out with the Force because he can't remember the
Yeah.
password.
It's a long password.
So he goes to the JE
Wish Obi had written it on his wall in
99DI88.
like red paint to make it look like blood and freak
Why?
Luke out.
You know, I feel like Luke
Uh,
should have written it down.
yeah, like
When
wake up
he
and been like,
like,
oh my goodness,
oh
this
goodness,
seems like
like I
it
gotta
might be
write this down.
important.
Like I see that in movies all the time. Like someone's like given like a password and it's like, well, just write it down. Like I don't know how I don't know how I could remember that for. Of course, that's another thing. Like whenever somebody's in the movies and they're like hanging off the edge of something, I'd be like, oh, I'd be dead.
Yeah,
I
oh
couldn't
yeah.
pull
I
myself
feel like I
off that.
couldn't.
I
I would be
couldn't.
like, I'm so scared right now. I'm just gonna drop. I'm too
Yeah.
scared to fight.
Like when someone's underwater for a long time, I'd be like, I'd be drowned already.
So
I'd be
drowned.
dead. I'd be
Yeah.
so dead. So the rain turns on. Day is saved. Unfortunately, poor Baji is conscripted into the Empire as an Imperial physician. And
So
oh
did Triceratops get his berries?
yes, Triceratops got his berries.
Oh.
But it turns out the Triceratops also got like really horribly burned. So he
Well,
looks
yeah, he was running through
yeah, he was
fire.
running through fire. He didn't stop. He didn't crawl under the smoke. He should have done that.
It makes me
So,
think of Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer when he was trying to run from place to place. And he's literally on fire. And he's like underneath the trench coat because he's a. Wait, you haven't seen Buffy, have you?
I haven't seen Buffy.
Oh,
But
you don't even know. Then
I'm,
never mind.
I've got a mental picture of it, and it made me laugh. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
And since his name is
Wonderful.
Spike, I imagined him as just a giant railroad spike. So I was like, that's so funny. Anyway,
He
so
got his name because he killed people with railroad spikes. So.
oh, That's a lot
I don't
less
remember his
funny.
actual name. He wasn't like born, and then his parents were like, "We're gonna name you Spike."
Well, yeah, because that's kind of
Anyway, Poleaxe.
yes, Poleaxe. So Triculus has like he's super ugly and burned up, and he's got like a gross like red hand, like right
Love
hand that's
it.
all
He
messed
sounds
up.
super sexy now.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah.
like the
You know,
battle wounds
he's
and
got that super sexy evil thing going on
love
where
it.
like you're ugly and therefore we know you're evil. If Star Wars has
Mm-hmm.
taught me anything, is that the more evil you are, the uglier you get.
It's just the worst.
So, so he swears vengeance as usual, but this time he's got an ultimatum that he's going to take Princess Leia and make her his evil queen. So,
Okay.
he's got a thing for her. So for some reason, Ken gets to go with Luke, even though he hasn't like really earned the right to leave or grown as a character at all, which really only supports the
Because
fact
he's
that
writing
he's
the
a Mary
story.
Sue. Yeah, he's a Mary Sue. I mean, it's basically like he's very much a Mary Sue. He hasn't even convinced DJ he needs to go. He just kind of gets to go.
Bye bye, droid.
So bye, Ken. You're getting go on this mission with your best friend Luke Skywalker.
Yay.
So book ends there, but the
Mm-hmm.
glossary does fill us in on some of Ken's amazing force abilities that he never uses in this book, even when it would be like really like helpful.
Okay.
So it says here Ken has certain Jedi abilities that have come to him naturally, such as the ability to cloud minds, to mind read, and he even had the power to move small objects by concentrating on them. Now, if he'd used those powers, he probably could have, like, helped Baji when he was being taken from the stormtroopers, because he'd
Maybe
just be
they
like,
wrote the book and then we're like, oh darn, he's gonna have these powers later on. We should probably
we
put
should
him in
probably
the
talk,
glossary.
put it in the glossary. It's all
He
good.
has
It's all good.
force powers. We're getting there.
So before I end my legend for today, I
Yes.
think that the favorite fact I've learned about the writers of this book, Paul
Uh-huh.
Davids and Hollis Davids, the
Yeah.
husband and wife team, writing team, they met at a screening of George Lucas's THX 1138, which is kind of interesting that they would end up be writing a Star Wars book for George
Married and
Lucas.
then yeah, and
Yeah,
because that
it's
was
kind of
his
cute.
first film, right?
Yeah, it was his first film. Yeah,
Yeah.
THX 1138. Before,
Wow. That's
well, it was first
wow.
feature film. He had short films and
Right,
stuff.
right.
Anyway, but yeah, like it's a fun little fact there about
Interesting.
them.
I
So
love it.
that is today's legends. Tomorrow, next time, not tomorrow. Next time we will
It could
do.
be tomorrow if someone's listening to this in the future and episode 3 is already out.
That's
So
true. That's true. So next time we will be talking about the next book, Zorba the Hutt's Revenge, which introduces the father of Jabba the Hutt.
oh my gosh. I'm
It's
so
gonna be great.
excited. That
It's
sounds
gonna be
amazing.
great. It's gonna be great.
I love it. Perfect. So the bio is it's not it's a character I found about there we go, that's the words, called the father, and I became interested in him and then found out he literally kind of only exists in like a trilogy episode of the Clone Wars.
An arc.
So what?
An arc.
Yes. Yes.
You have to
Yeah.
call it an arc. It sounds cooler when you call it an arc.
I know.
An arc.
So yeah, but so I'm just gonna kind of talk about him. So he
Okay.
called the father. He has two children, the daughter and the son. These are
Oh no, Holy
very,
Spirit.
you know what? This is a very religious episode. It feels like almost there's certain scenes where the Pope was like, I need a Star Wars episode. And Lucasfilm was like, okay, we'll give you three. And the Pope was like,
Well, how do we say no? He's the
it's
Pope.
the Pope.
I just don't think that people are connecting with Catholicism these days. But I
Put
think that
Anakin in there.
Star Wars could really work with it.
Yes, yes. So the father, the daughter, the son, they were members of an enigmatic force wielder family known as the Ones. These were
Okay.
godlike beings. They had no particular fixed form, and they are also called the Mortis gods. So the daughter is basically the embodiment and the personification of all that is considered good or light, such as serenity, selflessness, compassion, love. And the son personifies all the dark side traits, so jealousy, anger, resentfulness, hatred. They basically the father took them to this plane of existence that is called Mortis. So
Okay.
it's a wild space planet in this space of existence, which is a spiritual plane. There's a lot of weird little levels to this. It's a spiritual plane in the remote, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Chilrithium system.
We need a
Mortis,
pronunciation guide.
yeah, we do. We need a Star Wars dictionary. Mortis was believed to have been the origin point of the Force itself, and it acts as a conduit for all things connected to it. So the father taking the son and the daughter to this place was his way of kind of being a little bit of a not navigation point, mediation point. So
Okay.
they can both have their powers and be as powerful as they want in this plane of existence, but it doesn't affect those outside of them per se. It doesn't affect everybody that exists outside of Mortis. And that was part of the reason that they had to go to this planet because the son and daughter is so
Okay.
powerful. So, and this takes place again during the Clone Wars, this
During the
story.
clone. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Anakin, Obi, and Ahsoka get this 2,000-year-old transmission, and it's basically like a distress signal. So they go to this place, and it's just deep space. It's dark, there's nothing there, and they're like, why are we here? So they fall asleep, and when they wake up, they're on this planet, and it's this beautiful planet where everything just is. It is the Force itself, right? So, however you're feeling, whatever you want to accomplish, if you are force sensitive, you have kind of like unlimited power in this plane of existence. So, the daughter comes to greet them and is like, my father is the one that has, requested your presence. Please come with me. The son throws a boulder at them, and it's. She's like, no, you stay here. I must go find my father. So there's, and I'm gonna scat over a lot of stuff that happens in the episode because it's not necessary for just kind of like trying to cover these three beings. But
Okay.
basically, Anakin ends up venturing off to go and find them because he's like, this planet's weird. I don't know what's going on. And he shows up. I don't know where the daughter went. She said she went to get her father, and then she doesn't show up again for a while. So Anakin shows up
She
in
took the
this,
long way.
I guess so. So Anakin goes into this like palace. The father is there, and he's like, I am growing very old. I am dying, and I need someone who is powerful to be here and take care of my children, to kind of manage them and make sure that they don't leave. Um, and there's been prophecy of a chosen one, and I brought you here because I believe you are the chosen one. And Anakin's like, I don't believe in that chosen one stuff, so no, I'm good.
Wait,
And
but okay, 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 okay.
okay. So yeah.
Okay.
So the son shows up as well, and he's like, "Are you the chosen one?" And Anakin's like,
No.
"No, I don't know." And then or sorry, I'm so sorry. The son turns into a bearded bat. Okay. He can
The
turn into a
Emperor.
bearded bat. All three of the beings can fly. The son can turn into a bearded bat. The daughter can turn into like this sparkly hippogriff. And the father just remains the same, but he has some wings that can sprout out and take him around, kind of like
I-
Maleficent looking things.
Isn't the daughter the bird from Rebels?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Wait, is that a fourth season thing? I've only watched through season
No,
three.
she's
I'm on
the
season one.
bird was in like the third season.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Like it was following around Ahsoka and stuff. Maybe
Oh,
in season two.
maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
Go ahead.
It might have not been
Yes.
something that I recognized because I didn't know about them then.
I don't know. It comes back in the fourth season, but it's been throughout. Like, for some reason, it's associated with
Huh.
Ahsoka.
Okay, it might be. I will
Okay,
keep an
whatever
eye
you
out
guys,
for
you
it.
guys got.
Anyway, so so Anakin and the father are keep arguing about this because Anakin's like, listen, this place is weird. I want to leave, and the fact that like I'm feeling threatened. You're probably a Sith, and the father's like, you have a very simplistic view of things. I myself am a being that is much more than the Sith or the Jedi, and you, Anakin, are as well. And I'm just, yeah. So Anakin takes out his lightsaber and he's like, no, I'm gonna kill you. And the father touches the blade, like the lightsaber blade, and like pushes it back down like it's nothing. And he's like, no, like listen, you need to like I'm going to convince you of who you are. And if, you know, you don't pass this test, then whatever, maybe you aren't the chosen one. So he has the son and daughter turn into their winged creatures and kidnap Obi and Ahsoka. And then he's like, okay, Anakin, you have to choose to murder one of them.
That's a terrible test.
I know.
Give
So
him like a force test. Like, how do you Jedi mind trick someone?
Well,
Like, how
so
do you?
because
Okay,
Anakin's like, okay, you know, this well, Obi is like, listen, this place is literally the Force. Like you and you can wield the Force, Anakin. So, you know, duh. So Anakin uses the Force around him to basically like throw the bat and the hippogriff against the wall and free his friends. And then the father's like, see, you were so powerful. You are the chosen one. And Annie's like, the chosen one is a myth. I'm so sick of this. Like, I don't believe in this. You know, I'm just
wait. So the whole point of the test was that he wasn't supposed to?
the point of the test was that I guess he could prove to himself how powerful he was because like he literally used the force around him to just like move things and free his friends. And then the father's like, "Do you feel your destiny?" And
Okay.
Anakin's like, "No."
No, I don't.
So the father says, I cannot force you to do this. Get it? Force, the force. Cannot force you to, but if you leave, your selfishness will haunt you and the galaxy for all of eternity. Now, the son wants to leave the planet. He's like, I'm done with this place. I'm done being trapped here. But the only way he can leave is through a spaceship.
Wait, I need to reach across fandom lines and
Okay.
steal a Star Trek quote,
Okay.
and from Star Trek Five
Okay.
with Captain Kirk. Excuse me, what does God need with a starship?
To get off the planet.
Well, I guess so. I mean,
I'm
okay.
still confused because like no
How'd
one
they
can
get
actually
there?
leave the planet until it's like the force itself lets them leave or something or the
But how'd they
father.
get there?
Right, exactly. They fell
Did
asleep
they?
and then it was
Did
like,
they? Well, no. Like, how did the Mortis gods get there? Did they use a spaceship?
well, they are like literally gods, so
Is there
I
an
guess they use a
X-wing under the
spaceship.
water that
Oh
they
my
can?
gosh.
Is there an X-wing under the water like
They have to pull it up.
that works after 30 years of
That would be
being
amazing.
in the
Unfortunately
water?
not.
No. Okay.
So anyway, Anakin's like, "Listen, I'm done with this place. I want to leave." And the father's like, "Okay, fine. Like I can't keep you." So the son gets Anakin and he's like, "Listen, you know, you can basically destroy the Sith. I can help you destroy the Sith and it's going to be like badass." And there's a whole thing with a sword of Mortis, or sorry, the dagger of Mortis that the daughter gives to Obi. She's like, I am unable to actually interfere with whatever the ways of the Force. Like, I have Force powers, but and I cannot act against what my personification is basically, and neither can my brother. But I cannot interfere directly, and I'm not sure why she can't. But so she's like, if you need to interfere to like, you know, save my father or one of your friends, I can't do that, but you can. So here's the dagger of Mortis. So the
It's got to
son,
be the man that does it. The big strong man's got to do all the acting.
I
The
guess so.
woman's just got to. It's like Princess Leia and the Jedi Prince. She's just got to
I guess so.
sit back and let the men do all the work.
So the son bites Ahsoka and is like, "Go get me that dagger." And he gives her when
Vampire.
yeah, it's like force rabies is the way that I see it. It's really
Oh,
weird.
force rabies.
Yeah,
I did not hear that.
force
Um,
rabies is the way
yeah,
that I
force
see it. They
rabies.
didn't say
Yeah,
that, but
yeah,
so
I can see it.
she gets the dagger
Vampire.
and he's like, "Yay, now I can kill my father." Yay. And so he tries to stab his father. The son does. The
Oh,
son
the
tries to
son. I
this
thought I was so confused. I thought
no,
Ahsoka's father was the
that's okay.
father.
So
I was really
Ahsoka got
confused.
the dagger. The son
Okay,
now has the dagger, and he's like, I'm
now
gonna
has the
stab my
dagger. I'm
father,
gonna
and then
stab
I
my
will be the one in
father.
control, and I can leave. So as he's trying to stab his father, the daughter gets in between them, and she's the one that gets stabbed. So
But
she's
and he
dead
doesn't
now.
like that. He doesn't like killing his sister.
No, he does not like killing his sister. He
Oh,
liked his
okay.
sister. He
He
just
liked
wanted
his
his dad to
sister.
go away.
He just didn't like his dad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the son takes Obi-Wan to what I'm calling the well of the dark side. And he's
Ooh.
like, I can control time here and I can show you what your future is going to be. And because you will know what it's going to be, I can help you avoid it. So he
Is that
shows
like
him,
the world between worlds?
I guess so.
Okay.
They might have actually said that, and I might not remember. But he shows Anakin the entire Revenge of the Sith. Like, he shows him Padme dying. He shows, the fight with Obi. He shows
The
him becoming like
credits.
Vader. And Anakin's like, that's horrible. Yes, I will do anything to avoid that. Obviously, like, that's absolutely
I mean,
terrible.
obviously, I don't want that.
I
That's
don't
not
want
fun.
that.
I don't like that. What?
Yeah.
What? This happens? What?
Yeah, he sees
I
himself
want that to happen.
killing the
What?
children in Order 66. Like, it's really bad. My question is, so at the end of this, so anyway, so I'll come back to that. But the son says,
Yeah.
like, listen, this planet is not my destiny. I must be free. Um, Anna getting across the room. Sorry. Oh yes. So the father shows up, and then the son still has the dagger. The father gets the dagger from the son and is like, he stabs himself.
Why?
Because by killing himself, he says that he and the son are tied together and the son's energy flows through him. So by dying, the father willfully takes away his son's power.
Oh.
And then, but as the son is holding his father who's dying, because he's like, I did not see that coming, uh, Anakin stabs the son in the back. And then everyone is dead. And then after that moment, the father, who is still dying, he's not dead yet, he's almost dead. The father
He's
is
only
like,
mostly dead.
yes, the father's like, this confirms, Anakin, that you are the chosen one and you have brought balance to this world and will
You
again for
just
the
killed
galaxy.
everybody. That's not. What?
Feeling like the father might be evil.
You didn't win. You didn't win anything. You just killed everyone.
So the father's like, listen, you can bring balance to the galaxy, but you have to beware your heart. And that's like his dying breath. And before he dies, he is like, listen, you've seen the future, because my son used like time force wielder magic, and I can't let you leave here with that. That's like forbidden knowledge. So he takes Anakin's memories away of seeing the Revenge of the Sith. So my question is, he didn't have direct memories to like all of that, but when Revenge of the Sith was happening, was Anakin like, oh my god, deja vu? Obi's like cutting his limbs off, and he's like, holy boy, deja vu! Obi wouldn't believe this. It feels like I've seen this before.
He's like, he's like in the Jedi temple, and
Yeah.
he's like, wait a minute, didn't I kill that little blonde boy?
He like
No.
kills the first kid, and he's like, whoa, deja vu! Ah,
No.
deja vu again! What is happening?
I had a
So
dream that
yeah,
was just like
all
this.
all three of the Mortis gods die really quickly.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
Well,
yeah.
did we learn a lesson?
Do we have to learn lessons from Star Wars?
I mean, kind
I mean, did we learn a lesson from the Jedi Prince? I mean, I
well,
get it was supposed to
we
be about
learned that we need
environmentalism.
to save the rainforest, Chloe.
Yes, that's very
We
true.
have to save the whales, save the rainforest.
We'll
I
find
think
out
later
about the other
on,
things from
yeah,
later
we'll
on.
find out about all the other things we have to do. There's
I
six
guess
books.
it's when you stab people. Uh, don't stab people, by the
Don't
way.
well,
But
actually, but it helped. He brought balance to the force by stabbing people, so do stab
I'm
people.
still confused. Anyway, tell us this
Thank
month's
you.
headcanon, Brandon.
Okay, so this to round us out with our headcanon for this month. This has been something that's been on my mind for a long time, and it's
Okay.
partially inspired by my dad, who loves to make up these kinds of things. So basically, I think that Senator turned Chancellor turned Emperor Palpatine has the mystical force ability of force stupidity.
Okay.
And essentially, it is the ability to make people around him stupider. The reason that I think that this is attributed to my dad, who'd always talk about how the reason that nobody knows Clark Kent is Superman is because he has a secret super stupidity power, which is basically hypnosis that people can't tell that this guy wearing glasses takes
Oh.
off his glasses and suddenly he's
But
Superman.
like
So
Palpatine's so powerful, he wouldn't have to actually wave his hand in front of someone's face and be like, "You are not aware of what I'm doing." He would
no,
just
no,
be
he's
able to
like
just
it's
kind of
just
send that
automatic
out.
hypnosis.
Oh.
It's like why he's like sitting there in the opera and he's like, let me tell you a story of Darth Plagueis the Wise, and he's like, and Anakin's not like, wait, Darth, like a Sith story,
The
like
wise?
evil, like
He's just like,
bad
okay.
guys. He's like, okay,
Cool.
whatever, that's cool. I like that.
Whoa,
I think
that's
that's why.
mind blowing. Is
I
that
think
why the entire Jedi Council, when Padme's like, I think Palpatine tried to have me killed, they're like, no.
no, no, what? No, who
Wow,
would think that?
How did Padme see past that?
I think it's because Padme has the ability to like well, of course she's not a force user. Maybe it's like
True.
something that
Maybe it's like a force user
specifically
thing?
works on force users.
Oh.
So like the idea that he's like and also Padme's just really smart. Like there's
Right,
a
right.
in Attack of the Clones, Anakin tells her that the Jedi mind trick only works on the weak-minded, and she's not weak-minded. She's really smart. Meanwhile, all of the
Oh.
politicians in Revenge of the Sith who are like, "Oh my God, this guy looks super evil, but I'm gonna cheer
Yeah,
him being emperor anyway." And of course, like Jar Jar is really, really stupid. So like the
right.
Force stupidity is like amplified. It's like maybe Jar Jar maybe Jar Jar is this Force stupidity amplifier
Oh
for
no.
Palpatine. So instead of being a Sith Lord, he's like a super Force artifact that amplifies stupidity. And that's why we don't see him in the original trilogy. He's got like Jar Jar locked up in a little spaceship,
Oh my
and he
god.
like just uses the Force and like sends stupidity waves throughout
Oh
the
my
universe.
god.
It's like in
I
Rick and
mean,
Morty
you know what?
how
It could happen.
it could
Um,
happen,
that it does that actually makes sense though. You know what? I'm down for that.
but it's also the reason why Darth Vader doesn't like when Palpatine's like zapping him, Darth Vader doesn't like pick up Luke's lightsaber with the Force and like stab him with it, but he
Right.
picks him up and because he's still under the influence of the Force stupidity
Right.
ray, and he's like, oh, must kill him in stupidest way possible. So
I love it.
I think that's the influence because he's got that amazing, powerful force stupidity that just zoop into people. So that's my headcanon for the month. And if you disagree, well, obviously I'm right. So there's
I
really
mean,
no way to know
that
for
I
sure.
don't think I ever would have thought of that. So that works. I
I
love
think
it.
it works. I think it works,
It
and I
works really well for
specifically
me. Yeah.
that the reason Jar Jar found them in the first place is because Palpatine manipulated events so that
Yeah.
his super force stupidity amplifier effect
I love
could
it.
be like in the mind of Qui-Gon Jinn, because Qui-Gon Jinn, like, he's taking Jar Jar everywhere with him, and
Right.
like Qui-Gon is very dumb because he's like, oh, wait. I'm going to use this little boy in a pod race instead of actually just buying a new ship with the money that we have.
This will be so. But remember, he's a
So
dinner for
such a good
schmucks
idea.
guy.
Yeah,
So
that's right. That's right. He's a dinner for schmucks guy. He
he's
had to bring
doing
Jar
things as
Jar.
well that are mildly evil for his own entertainment.
He's bringing Jar Jar and Anakin along for the dinner of schmucks. That's right.
Right.
That's right. I
And that
forgot
just
about that.
happens to really benefit Palpatine at
It
the
just yeah, it just
end.
happens to. Well,
Palpatine's like, my life is so easy right now. This is great.
Palpatine's force stupidity means he's above dinner for schmucks. He doesn't
Right.
even need it because
Oh,
he
I
can
don't
just
think
make anybody
Palpatine would be in
stupid.
dinner for schmucks. No.
No. He can just make everybody stupid, except for
Yeah,
Padme because
exactly. I
she's
will
so
say like
smart.
one thing that it's not headcanon, it's the father with Anakin. I really wish he'd been like, speak, chosen one. I want to hear your wisdom. Anakin would have been like, I hate sand.
Oh, I hate sand.
Father would have been like, maybe then they're like, wait, hold on. Maybe
Oh
this isn't
no.
what
You can leave now. Go. Goodbye.
Goodbye. None of us are gonna die today. Just leave in your spaceship.
So is the fact that all of the Force gods are dead mean that
Yeah,
like
they died really
that's
quickly because of
that's
Anakin, kind of.
So does that mean that's why everything goes bad? It's because
Maybe.
like
There,
that's
I
why
want them to write more about these creatures because they feel like they're potentially very important, but they're kind of like, no, we created them to put
they
in three
show up as
episodes.
like paintings and
Yeah,
rebels.
yeah, they're in like murals and stuff.
And there's a bird that people say could be the daughter,
I'm gonna watch out
but
for that now when I watch Rebels.
watch out for her because she's
Yeah.
like in Ahsoka. She's around Ahsoka, or she's on that planet they go to, the new base, the base where they find Bindu.
Okay.
Yeah,
I finished
but
all that, but I'll probably rewatch it.
I don't
Anyway,
remember.
thank you
It
so
was fun.
much, everyone, for listening to
Of
Fables and
course,
Legends.
it was
I hope it was
great.
magical, and
And check out Codename Blank. We've got new blank spaces coming up, or probably it's going to be already out by the time that this comes out. Well, actually, probably not. You're actually really fast about editing. So
yeah.
it's the 31st, March 31st. So check it
Yay!
out. Check it out, Blank Spaces. It's on acting with Jess Paul and Miley. They're going to tell you how to become a great actor.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Bye
And
bye.
that's it
May
for
the
me.
force be with you.
Bye bye. May the force be with you.
All right. Oh, nope, that's not one.